Stay, stay. Good boy, stay, stay. So my brother's like, you know what, just make it, it's your birthday, you gotta make it over here. And I'm still waiting to pick up my first ever acting check. You know, a starving artist ain't no joke. I'm just telling you, for any future artists out there, you know, like, hunger is the best spice. We're celebrating, everything's going amazing, and you know, somehow during the night, I find myself in a situation, in an altercation, and I ended up being stabbed 3 times behind my back. Still being in shock, I'm trying to like shrug this off like it's no big deal, until I get to the hospital and I'm laying there, and it's 3-something in the morning, it's a Saturday, and they're doing surgery on my back, 20-something surgical stitches and surgical staples later. And one of the nurses, I'll never forget this, I'm laying there holding the bedside and she's like, he won't stop bleeding. So they had to reopen me and suture it back up and then close me back up. So while this is all happening, it's like 2014, I'm 27. 2014 was the time I'm supposed to be in Rwanda, but instead I'm in an emergency room watching Hotel Rwanda. I don't know why Hotel Rwanda was playing at that time. And I'm sitting in this hospital bed, and an hour after surgery. And I remember watching this, and I'm high on morphine, watching this movie and tripping out that I was expecting to be in Africa, but I'm not. I'm in a hospital, mortally wounded, and I'm watching this film about what happened 2 decades previously and what would have happened if I ended up being there when it happened. And while I'm watching this thought popped into my head was, you know, like, forgiveness, because while watching this movie with Don Cheadle and, you know, this depiction that's just so heinous, I was imagining, how do you make sure something like this never happens again? And it's forgiveness. Like, and while I'm in the hospital bed, I'm sitting there being like, do I forgive this motherfucker? While I'm going through all these intense emotions, trying to rationalize, A, am I just dealing with this trauma in a way, or B, am I learning a fucking life lesson that I should never forget ever in my life? And you know, and that's when I kind of quickly realized that outside of being in a building that's titled school, you're always in school, and the universe is always going to test you with some shit. So at that moment I felt like I passed, because I learned what my lesson was, which was forgiveness. And I'll never forget the painting I painted right after that. It was this woman holding this baby and this river running behind her, and I'll never forget that that's when I kind of felt that I was in this school of life, I was doing what I needed to do as a student, and hoping just to make it to that next grade.